3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, it's Devin Peterson and you're watching The Main Ingredient. What a day. It's QSCHOOL Day 1 2020 and we have 3 winners, one coming from the PDC Europe and then 2 coming from obviously the UK. And the UK one always kind of throws a spanner in the works or just brings out players that nobody's ever heard of, or not never heard of, but let's say players that you would not even think would get through, basically. And this is what darts is about. It's on the day, and this is shown today with the results. But before we get there, I myself have qualified twice, and have a look. This is what it meant to me back then.
To the PDC circuit, you've won a sore card here on day 2. You must be absolutely over the moon.
It's crazy actually. I mean, coming over here and thinking I did this in, I think it was 2010 when they first started the QSCHOOLs, and we were 100 and probably 120, 130 people, and I mean now it's over the 400, and I thought, well, it's going to be a hard ask to really get through it, and then. Well, the draw fell in my favour, and then the darts picked up through the day, and I'm just over the moon that I've actually got it. And you know, the first year that I got it, I still had my training wheels on. I just came over, just really started picking up my darts, and I feel now that I can definitely move on and create a career out of this.
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of years for you with arm problems and then having some time back in South Africa, but it looks like you're ready to make the jump back here to the UK.
Yeah, definitely, and this time it will be a lot different. It's going to be the travelling in and out and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's really an amazing feeling to actually get the tour card again. I mean, in the first instance, I never lost my tour card. I was ranked 59th, so I had to relinquish it because of the injury. And just returning after a few years, yeah, it's amazing. I'm almost near to tears, yeah.
One of those days where the PDC offers you an opportunity to actually be a touring professional, and like no other sport in the world, you could literally, from year one, you could be, let's say you were a dart fan and you're watching your favorite dart player, let's say he's Devin Peterson, and you're watching Devin Peterson dance on the stage, play well, you're always following him at exhibitions, and then you enter to QSCHOOL, qualify, and guess what? You get to play your stars. I mean, like no other sport, I think, offers a situation like this. I think in a sense of you can go from the pub to being a professional within that period, but obviously the hard work and all of that comes in with it beforehand, and obviously you see the top quality names. I mean, we've got over 500 players at the QSCHOOL now today, and that's in the UK, and then over 300 in Europe, so fantastic. But yeah, let's see our first 2 winners. As you've seen there, Jason Lowe has played on the European tour. He's got to the 3rd round, which is not quite easy. He lost out to Gezi Price in the end, but he's had the experience. He's played on challengers, gone deep in some tournaments. So surely not a surprise in a sense, or maybe not amongst the names that was said to be winning his tour card today, but surely a quality player, as he showed. He played consistently well. I mean, if we look at this averages right here and right now, and he played against Steve Brown, and Steve Brown also a top 32 player back in 2011, I think it was. Obviously injury has put him out the game as well, so coming back, getting to this latter round, which is fantastic. Even if he doesn't get it on the day, doesn't secure him the tour card on day 1, but it's given him a platform to obviously continue this run basically, and gather the points that you need, because the tour card is won on two separate situations. One is win it outright, and then the second one is obviously win it on points. So yeah, it's great to see Steve Brown, and then Gary Blades, obviously the mystery man. Who is Gary Blades? Where's he from? What's he been up to? I mean, we've seen him play on the Challenge Tour or just seen results of him on the Challenge Tour. Not been fantastic all year, and then just turns up at Q School and wins it. I mean, let's just listen to the interview that Dan Dawson has with Gary.
PDC Tour card holder, first winner in Wigan today. How are you feeling?
Weird. I'm feeling like this is just all a weird dream.
You've played PDC darts before. You played the Challenge Tour last year. You had 8-9 years where you weren't playing anything at all. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
Well, partly because of work, and then partly just because I wasn't playing well enough to even think about it. But I had to go last year. I did okay, but nothing special. But last few months I've been playing really well. So, and then I didn't expect today to happen, but it's happened, and yeah, I don't really know what to say now.
Well, look, people are going to be wondering, who's Gary Blades? Where's he from? What's he do? Tell us who you are, man.
Well, I'm from Lincoln. I work for Anglian Water. I'm all right at darts. And hopefully people will know my name for the next 2 years and a bit more, hopefully.
Well, quite. You've had some tough games to come through today. You're the guy who knocked Lisa Ashton out earlier on. Is that a sort of representative of your standard, sort of high 80s, 90s averages? You got more you can give, you think?
Recently, but I have got no idea how well I can play more than that. We'll see. Hopefully, I've been consistent all day, which isn't like me. I'm normally 2 good games, 1 bad, so we'll see what happens for the next couple of years.
Well, people have been talking about this as being the dream ticket, a chance to go up against Van Gerwen, Anderson, Peter Wright for the next 2 years, week in, week out. That's got to excite you. It's probably hasn't sunk in.
Yeah, it hadn't sunk in at all. I didn't expect today. I thought just get a few points, and if I can get to Sunday and have a chance, then. So yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, but they're all brilliant players, and they'll probably destroy me. So I've taught my game a little bit more, keep practicing, and hopefully within the next couple of years I can beat a few of them.
Well, 6 years ago, some bloke called Gerwin Price turned up, and nobody had heard of him, and he just thought he was playing a bit for fun. And 6 years on, he's a 2-time Grand Slam winner. I mean, once you test yourself against the best, that's when you really find out how far you can go, isn't it?
Well, that's it, yeah. He's the perfect. Him, Rob Cross, they're the perfect examples of what can happen when you just start testing yourself and get yourself better. So hopefully I can follow in their footsteps.
Well, superbly played today. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very good.
And you can tell in his interview as well that he doesn't have a clue where the form came. He says he plays 2 good games and 1 bad game. He was consistent all day. Beat Lisa Ashton as well. Also one of the ladies going through to the latter rounds. She went the furthest. Fallon Sharrock also played today. Lost in the last 64. Yeah, but I think she beat Paul Nicholson as well. So Paul Nicholson obviously returning after the year out. Fantastic game. I think Fallon averaged about 90, just 90 and some change. But yeah, it's Fallon Sharrock, obviously the name on top of everybody's head from a woman's perspective, because she's done so well at the Worlds, getting invites to the Premier League, the World Series, and so on and so forth, and known or kind of now known as the Queen of the Palace. So yeah, and Lisa Ashton always consistent and got rightly so. She got to the last 32 run and faltered only to the winner, which is Gary Blades. What a day! What a day!
Hey, subscribe! Subscribe!